I'm Marian Clarissa from Dream Book Project. We're doing a series called Thrive. Like living in the now, it's still about making the best of the present moment. But now we're going to talk about different kinds of goals, like wealth goals, health goals, relationship goals, love goals, and all sorts of goals. But for this episode, we're going to talk about wealth goals. I'm here now with Miss Ruthie C. Juanson. And Ruthie is a
Hello.
CPA. Hi, Ruthie.
Hi.
Ruthie is also an executive financial advisor with Film Life. And she's known as a rich maker, and she's a four-time member, consistent member of the MDRT or Million Dollar Roundtable. And she's a happy wife and mom. And she's Fraggy with her second baby.
Yes. Thank you, Marian, for having me this afternoon
Thank
in
you
your
for
Live the
squeezing
Now
us in.
project.
Thank you for squeezing us in kahit na malapit na ang iyong delivery.
Yes, it's my pleasure to really share about my advocacy as to finances.
Financial literacy.
Yep.
Rich Makers Rise Up Be Rich event is actually a partner of Dream Book Project. That's why we're doing this video interview with Ruthie. Yun. So, first, let's talk about wealth goals, no? So, how yung basic when it comes to goals, any goals actually, whether wealth goal or another type of goal, basic is goal setting. How do we do goal setting for wealth goals?
Okay, for wealth goals, we do goal setting by doing our financial plans.
Yeah.
So with this, we start our financial plans through our dreams. So we have different dreams in life, like we want to have a house and lot, we want to have our own family, and of course, a good education for our children, to travel the world, to have a business, and of course, to become financially free in the future. So those dreams, we write down those in our journals, or of course, if they bought Dream Book, they will use that. And second is to quantify how much amount of money do they need for a specific dream. Like for example, if they want to buy a house and lot, how much would that house and lot in your mind costs? For example, syempre, if we want to buy here in Metro Manila, medyo mas mahal.
Yeah.
Around 6 million, 10 million, depending on the size, of course, or if it's in the city or in some urban areas, mas mura. And of course, if you want to retire, how much retirement fund do you want? At what age you would want to retire? So, we dream specifically. Kasi, di ba, we need to envision, we need to visualize those dreams.
Yes.
And we need a certain amount of money for that to make it happen. So, that's the first thing that we need to do. Then, next is, we need to assess what you've accumulated so far. What have you started already?
Ito yung assets
As to, yes, as to your finances. So, yun, we need to know our total income, our expenses, of course, and the asset that we've already accumulated. Like, for example, meron ka ng ipon sa bank, meron ka ng investment sa stocks, sa bonds, or any financial plans, financial instruments, or even a business. Kung nagpatayo ka ng business, how much mo yung kinikita ng business na ito. Yun. And we will go through that later. So, this is, ito muna yung for goal setting.
Yeah, yung second. All right.
Yep.
So the first is dream and quantify, and the second is ito, assess what you've accumulated.
Yes.
Okay, so what are the strategies and tools that we can use to achieve wealth goals? Strategies and
Okay.
tools naman.
For the strategies and tools, we have different strategies and tools that we can use. For us in Richmaker Financial, we teach our clients this financial confident donut. Very ano siya,
Financial
confidence donut yung tawag
confidence
namin. So,
donut. Okay.
you are confident enough if you are following this
Ah,
allocation as to your income, 'di ba? Every payday we receive our net salary, and where will that net salary will go? Of course, we suggest na 60% would go to your monthly expenses, 10% will go to your leisure, of course, then another 10% for tithing, going back to our church, and of course, kay God, come generous, kasi yung 10% na yan, for sure, aapaw pa yan ng mas marami. Siksik, liglig at umaapaw. And then, of course, 20% will go to your savings or investments. So, if you are in this allocation, for sure, you can have that wealth goal that you've wanted in the future. So, ito yung pinaka-basic na dapat alam ng tao. This is our first tool.
Sorry.
Okay.
Before we go to the next slide, is it okay? Kasi I heard about different kinds of, yung iba, they have money jars. Tapos iba yung categories nila. Like, for example, mayroong category ng growth. I forget what
Yes.
categories are. Pero, like, there are different ways that they can divide their net income, di ba? So, okay lang ba yun na parang iba yung i-follow nila na percentages and types?
Yes, pwede naman. For that type of tool kasi, the managers, actually, it's similar to this. Ito lang, medyo mas pinasimple siya. Kasi, for example, the growth jar would go to your expenses eh. So, depende kung ano-ano yung mga pwede mong, when you say growth jar, you would want to invest or buy a seminar ticket for yourself, diba? And you will learn. So, that's part of the expenses. This 60% can be divided into your needs. Of course, number one, yung needs mo talaga. Yung day-to-day living expenses mo, transpo, food, if you are a breadwinner, kasama dyan yung expenses ng mga anak or your dependents. And, of course, nandyan din yung expenses mo for your day-to-day activities na gusto mong gawin. Not really leisure, but more of yung hobby mo every day. For example, you would go to a coffee shop kasi 'di ba some nasanay na sila na meron silang moment na me time, ganun.
Yeah.
And then of course, the growth jar wherein we want to invest to have more knowledge, to invest on ourselves. So, we attend different seminars, of course. So, kasama siya dyan sa 60%. Well, for the leisure, ito talaga yung gusto mo mag-out of town, gusto mo mag-out of the country.
Yeah.
So, every month, you set aside 10% for that travel fund that you want. Or you want to splurge. As in, splurge na shopping. Alam mo yun. So, depende kasi sa isang individual kung ano yung definition niya ng leisure.
I see.
Kasi hindi naman lahat into travel. I have a client na hindi siya into travel. He wants gadgets.
Yun.
So, yun ang leisure niya. Gadgets. Mabala siya ng gadgets. Tapos, of course, the tithing, separate talaga siya. And the savings part is for your future, which are the dreams that you wanted in the future.
Yung first step sa kanina goal setting.
Yun yung first step. Pwedeng medium term ba yan, long term ba yan na dream, or within the year na dream. So, nandiyan na siya sa lahat sa 20%. So, later on, we will dissect pa kung ano pa yung mga pwede nating ilagay dun sa savings portion.
I see. Just to add for our audience, I heard from a friend na it's important na there's a fun kagaya nitong leisure. May fun cap or leisure fun because parang it's your reward. So dapat parang separate siya from your day-to-day expenses para kasi baka mamaya ang laki, well, for one, pag sinama mo siya dun sa day-to-day expenses mo, baka hindi mo napapansin ang laki na pala ng fun mo.
Tama. True.
Pag naman hindi mo siya i-separate, parang, or wala kang fun, parang hindi mo naman nire-reward yung sarili mo for all your hard work na nagsisave ka, nagpo-provide ka for yourself and your family for needs. Kailangan mo rin nun.
Yes, very important yung leisure. Kahit ako, when I do my financial planning with my client, I always ask that, even dun sa expenses na 60%, di ba? As I mentioned a while ago, we have a day-to-day funding, di ba? So, nandun siya sa 60%. Pero itong 10% ko talaga, it's still different kasi ito yung parang one time in a year na gusto mong bilhin para sa sarili mo.
Yeah.
Na as a leisure talaga. Like for example, me, I'm really into travel. I want to go out of town, out of the country. Yeah. Yun nga, yung isa kong client into gadgets naman. As in, mahal na gadget yung bibilhin niya. Para lang ma-satisfy ang kanyang pleasure. Yun. So, yun. Iba pa yung pang-araw-araw na fun. Kasi, di ba, pwedeng yung pang-araw-araw, you eat out with your office mates, ganyan. Pero dapat, nasa 60% lahat kasama yung daily living expenses.
Yeah.
Yun.
Are there more strategies?
Yes. Next is this. You should know your net worth and your net income. So, as mentioned a while ago, we need to know we need to assess what have we've accumulated so far. So, syempre, as a CPA, as a certified public accountant, I teach my client how to analyze their net income and their net worth. So, for the net income part, syempre dito, ito yung mas alam ng karamihan. Yung kita ko, minus yung expenses ko, how much yung natitira. Of course, as you can see in this slide, I separated the business income and the salary kasi merong iba na may business din. So, dapat separate talaga siya para na a-analyze din nila if that business that they have kumikita ba talaga siya?
Yes.
Along with the business expenses.
Yeah.
Kasi kapag halo-halo, baka hindi nila namamalayan na retaining that business, medyo loss pa pala, kinakain pa pala yung ibang kita from different type of income that they have. Like for example, the salary. Ayan. So, very important na alam natin to kasi ang pinakamahalaga dyan is yung net income, yung naiiwan. And that net income will go to your asset. So, syempre, ito medyo accounting, current asset, non-current asset. Ano ba yung current? Ito yung mga short-term assets natin na available like the cash on hand, cash in bank, mga receivables if you are into business. Syempre, may mga client ka na na-offer mo na yung service mo or yung product mo pero hindi pa sila nagbabayad. That is called receivable. And kung into ano ka naman, selling, of course, yung mga inventory mo na binibenta mo to your clients.
So receivables is non-current?
It's current.
It's current.
Yes.
Ang inventory?
Kasi ano yan eh. Inventory is also current.
Current din, okay.
Kasi ito yung moving talaga every day. So, hindi siya stagnant na more than in a year. So, for non-current asset, ito yung like buildings, kung meron kang machineries, equipment into your business. Or, of course, doon naman sa personal assets natin, ito yung mga house and lot natin na in-acquire. So, yun yung mga non-current asset. Kasi talagang may amount of, may value siya. And then, mahaba yung period niya. Mahaba yung lifetime period niya. So, it's called non-current asset. Then, of course, etong asset na to, the total of your current and non-current asset will be your total assets. Siyempre, kailangan mo rin maintindihan yung liabilities naman. So, for this aspect, we should know our current liabilities or yung mga loans natin from, for example, credit card, personal loans like car loans, housing loan. For the business, of course, some businesses do business loans.
Yes.
And, di ba, yun. So, yung mga current liabilities are those maturing within a year. Ibig sabihin, demandable siya within 1 year. Or kailangan bayaran mo ng within 1 year dun sa pinagkakautangan mo. Or yung non-current naman, those are demandable na more than 1 year naman siya. Yes. So, from the total asset, ililess natin yung liabilities that will become your net worth. Or kung how much talaga yung pag-aari mo personally. Kasi yung thinking ng iba, total asset, yun na yung sayo. Pero hindi. The correct is you need to deduct your liabilities first. Then, the remaining difference or the amount, that's your net worth. Yun lang talaga yung pag-aari mo. Kasi yung utang mo, hindi yun sa'yo. Inutang mo siya eh. So, kailangan mo siyang bayaran. So, that this is another strategy to know, to assess where are we. Of course, knowing this, it will move us going through our wealth goals.
I see.
So, ayan.
I have a
Do you have any questions?
Yep. Yung sa assets and liabilities, kasi dun sa kabila, dun sa income and expenses, may business part. So dun sa assets and liabilities, kasama rin ba dito yon yung business, or personal lang?
Better na naka-separate yung asset and liabilities ng pang-personal tsaka ng pang-business. So, dalawang type. Ang tawag kasi dito is balance sheet. Dun sa income and expenses, that's your income statement.
Yeah.
So, meron kang income statement for your personal, meron kang income statement for your business. Same thing with your balance sheet. Meron kang balance sheet na pang personal mo and then balance sheet for your business.
Okay.
Para pag nag-analyze ka, naka-separate talaga. Kasi pag hindi siya naka-separate, when you don't bucket it, we wouldn't know na yung business pala, hindi na pala talaga siya nag-grow, kinakain pa yung personal assets mo. So, might as well think about it na, di ba, i-close na lang kapag ganun. So, mas maganda na naka-separate.
Yeah. Alright. Ikikwento mo ba later on kung what they're going to do after assessing itong net worth and net income?
Yes. Yes. Sige, another tools. Okay. Ito very minor. Jars, piggy banks, bank instruments, and cooperative funds. So, in here, ito yung madalas na ginagamit ng, diba, usual. So, ito yung talaga nag-iipon lang pag may extra sa baon or yung pang daily living expenses nila, may barya, nilalagay lang sa piggy bank. And ito naman yung different financial tools pa na pwede nating paglagyan. So, that's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and VULs. So, for the current asset that I've mentioned a while ago, yung cash in bank, yun yung pwedeng nandito sa bank instruments and cooperative funds, pati yung cash on hand. Ito namang stocks, bonds, mutual funds, VULs, depende kung ano yung term of the product or the financial instrument. So, if it's more than 1 year na kailangan nasa stocks yung pera mo, so long term yun, that's non-current asset. Kung readily available siya, pwedeng i-withdraw within a year. Like for example, the mutual fund, pwede yan, readily available. 6 months lang naman ng holding period niyan. So, nandun siya sa cash or current asset. So, ito yung different types natin. So, for the stocks, we have an ownership in the company. For bonds, tayo yung nagpapautang sa malalaking company.
Yeah.
We shell out our money to them para mabuo yung business goal that they want, the strategy that they want. And then, of course, when you do mutual funds, the difference is that you have a fund manager.
Yeah.
Hindi na ikaw yung mag-a-analyze kung anong stocks ba, anong company ba yung pwede kong paglagyan ng bonds. So, mas less tedious na on our part. For the variable universal life naman, this is just like a combo when you order to a fast food chain like McDo or Jollibee na may kasamang protection or insurance. So, it's a combination of mutual fund and insurance protection that could be for accident insurance, health insurance, and of course, life insurance. So, nasa isang product lang siya. Combo. Parang sa Jollibee, pag nag-order ka, combo number 1, meron ka ng french fries, burger, tsaka Coke. Dito naman, iba't ibang type ng financial instrument. So, yun siya. Ayan. So, do you have any other questions for the strategies and tools?
This is familiar to me, but if they do, they can reach out to you naman.
Yes.
Yeah. Sige.
Okay.
Meron pa bang ibang strategies and tools, or this is the last slide on strategies and tools?
Yes, this is the last slide.
Ayun. Now let's talk about milestones and action steps. Dreambook Project highlights the importance of these, and it's actually present in the Dreambook. They can write down their weekly action steps or daily action steps, and they evaluate every month if they've reached their milestones. So can you give examples of milestones they can set and action steps they can take for wealth goals?
Okay. So for financial goals or wealth goals, we usually bucket the goal that we have. So, we have short-term, medium-term, or long-term goals. Kasi, diba, Like what I've said dun sa balance sheet, we have current asset and non-current asset. Dito naman, ibabakit natin siya na ano ba yung dream mo for less than 2 years? Ano yung dream mo 2 years to 5 years? Ano yung dream mo over 5 years? Kasi it matters. So the action steps would be that different types of investment available or different type of financial instruments across all financial institutions na meron tayo.
Yeah.
So, for example, for your short-term goal, the daily living expenses, you want to buy a new cell phone, ganyan. Syempre, we can set aside your money from your salary. You can set it aside to your deposit account, or if your current employer has cooperatives na available, like for example in my former company like Globe Telecom, we have Globe Co-op na tinatawag, and we also have Ayala Co-op. So in here kasi just 1 year pwede mo nang kunin yung money mo, and it also earns interest income or dividends. So for the medium term naman, 2 to 5 years, like you want a good overseas vacation with your family, or kahit ikaw lang, me time, 'di ba? You want to buy a new car. Syempre, we could set aside our funds through mutual fund, UITF, or stocks. We're in a, syempre, blue chip company as much as possible so that the earnings is really stable. Then, of course, better na halo siya with a bonds dun sa mutual fund or 50-50 para conservative din na hindi lahat nasa stocks yung pera mo because it is volatile in nature. Like for example, now we are in a lockdown period and we are currently facing a crisis. So if your money is into stocks 100%,
Baba.
'di ba? Sobrang laki nung baba nung value ng pera mo ngayon. So talagang you can be at a loss right now.
Yeah. Pero they can hold it up naman, di ba?
Of course, it's not recommended to sell at this moment. It's better to buy so that the additional funds that you will put into your stocks will also help pull up the existing funds that you are currently invested. So pag umangat yan, mas mahatak niya paakyat yung existing stocks mo na at a loss at this time of lockdown. So yun siya. That's the best way na gawin is really to invest pa if you have, of course, extra cash na nakaset aside from the 20% of your salary, maybe 10% of that going to investment or stocks. So yun yung pwede mong ilagay sa stocks investment mo. Then, of course, for long-term goal, we have for single or even married retirement, which is the usual. Then, for those who are with dependents or children, they want a good children college education for them. We need a VUL product kasi ito yung product na merong insurance on which, of course, this insurance portion can protect the dream of having a good college education and, of course, a good retirement during 60, 65 years old. And a VUL, for example, for retirement, it can also have a health insurance for your critical illness, hospitalization, confinement, on which na talagang mangyayari or pwedeng mangyari were in your retirement years. So that's how we do the milestones and action steps for wealth goals.
Let's see. Baka na-overwhelm sila sa kailangan nilang gawing action steps, milestones, ganyan. How do we
Okay.
stay motivated to reach our wealth goals?
Sorry, meron pa pala akong ano.
Meron pa ba?
Sorry, ayan.
Okay.
For this one, ito pinakita ko lang kasi 'di ba ang pinaka-usual na milestone ng isang individual on which on our side as a financial advisor, majority of our clients ang laging sinasabi, I want a house and lot, I want a good education and a good retirement. So yung action step na palagi namin sasuggest, number 1, if you want a house and lot, you should have an insurance product for your housing loan. Specifically, di ba, hindi naman lahat ngayon kayang magbayad on cash pag bumili ka ng bahay at lupa. So, palaging naka-loan yan.
How does
And
that
then,
work? Does that mean parang they don't have, in case they can't pay for the loan, covered ng insurance?
yes, tama. This would prevent
if in the
their
event
family members.
Mangyari, hindi na write-off na
bayad
yun.
na.
Bayad na.
Oo, bayad na, hindi write-off. It's bayad na talaga. Yung utang ng, kunyari, breadwinner yung umutang for the house and lot. May mga anak siya, di ba? Kapag walang insurance yung housing loan niya, pwedeng maipasa yung utang dun sa mga anak. Paano kung minor pa tong mga to, di ba? Minor pa yung mga dependents. So, kawawa sila. Mababaon talaga sila sa utang. If they have an insurance product for the loan, the existing loan, not just for housing loan, but of course, common na rin is car loan, or kung may negosyo yung family, may business loan yan for sure. So, better na nasa Indano talaga.
Pwede rin.
Dapat
for that.
Yes, insurance product. Then for the dream naman, retirement and college education fund, and even the house and lot, they can do an investment for a VUL with mutual fund. Para aside from the insurance portion, they will also earn money on the side from their investment. And for those who are into retirement, dapat may health insurance. Yung pinili niyang financial instrument, specifically for hospital confinement, early stage critical illness, and other terminal illnesses na pwede niyang ma-experience in the future. Okay. Ayan. So,
do we go back to, may slides pa ba on action steps and milestones?
Wala na.
Okay. So, we go back to yung question on how to stay motivated to reach your goals. Yun.
To stay motivated.
Nakakapagod dyan is not the milestones, diba? Kasi that's a happy celebration when you reach the milestones. Pero yung action steps, lalo na yung daily action steps na kailangan nilang gawin. How do they stay motivated and not get tired or lazy or procrastinate on their wealth goal?
Yes. Okay, so how to stay motivated? So for us as your financial advisor, we always suggest to our client to do the monthly check of your progress in your savings and investing. So di ba kanina we want to write down the dreams and quantify how much. So kung every month tinitingnan mo, ito na yung na-set aside ko para dun sa bahay at lupa. Ito na yung na-set aside ko for retirement. Ito na yung na-set aside ko para sa pag-aaral ng mga anak ko. Nakikita nila na tumataas yung pagsisave nila. And that will keep them motivated, di ba? And then, of course, in addition, we as their financial advisor are very, very available. Kami in our unit, I always tell my financial advisors to do at the minimum semi-annual review with their clients. So, meaning to go back to their dreams na napag-usapan nila. Ito pa rin po ba yung dreams natin or do we have to change anything? Kasi if you change anything, any dreams, kailangan i-check mo kung okay pa rin ba yung existing plans na kinuha mo before. And kung paano siya mapapatch up or mabibridge yung gap if magkaroon man ng gap. So that, ano pa rin tayo? Aligned pa rin tayo dun sa target date na kung kailan mo gustong ma-achieve yung goal na yun. And then of course, I always tell my client na pag nakakaramdam sila ng moment na gusto ko yatang mag-splurge siya. Alam mo yun? gusto kong waldas ng pera. Ganyan. Kasi, kunyari, kaka-receive lang ng bonus, di ba? Lalo na ngayon, May. We are into mid-year bonus. So, yan. Ang palagi kong sinasabi sa kanila, always imagine yourself working in your retirement years on which you don't want to happen. Ayan, yung picture ko. Gusto mo pa rin ba, sir, na nakakulong ka pa rin hanggang 60 years old? Nagtatrabaho ka pa rin 8 to 5. 8 to 5 every day. Or, di ba, minsan, syempre, kapag mataas na yung posisyon mo, wala nang 8 to 5, 8 to 5 yan eh. Kahit na nasa bahay ka, you still do your job. You still report to your higher ups. So, yan. Lalo na kung into business. Kahit na 24 hours yan, iniisip mo yung business mo. Diba?
True.
So, yan yung madalas kong sinasabi for my clients.
We call it milestones, checkpoints. Yung first thing you want to check. Yun. So, yung progress trackers. Yeah. They also have that in their dream books.
Yeah, yes.
Yun. So, next is how can they catalyze their wealth goals or catalyze or make it faster and easier to reach their wealth goals?
Yes. So, syempre, how to catalyze our wealth goals? It is really about maximizing the time that we have now by focusing on our strengths as a person and use these strengths to earn more. So, ano ba yung strengths mo as an individual? Saan ka ba talaga magaling? If you are working 8 hours in a day, kaya mo pa bang kumuha ng other side hustles na mag-earn ka ng income? Kasi at the end of the day, Marian, kasi 'di ba, ito talaga yung kalaban natin, yung time.
Yeah.
Time will never wait for us. It will never wait for us. So we need to maximize the time that we have to have the financial freedom that we want. And kung saan ka magaling, dapat doon ka na mag-focus. Kasi if you are still in your comfort zone, you don't want to be challenged, you don't want growth, medyo matagal talaga bago mo maririp yung mga dreams mo. But of course, if you go to your growth zone, 'di ba? Medyo challenging, pero alam mo na may patutunguhan ka.
Yun ang talaga mapagka-catalyze niyan.
Yes, yun talagang pinakamabilis. You need to know your strengths so that you can be efficient in earning money. Kung magaling ka pala sa, for example, um, ako, when I was in in the corporate world, I was a controller, then doing business analysis.
Yes.
So, I know na magaling ako doon, pero na-realize ko rin na magaling akong humawak ng tao, magaling akong makipag-usap, makipag-negotiate. Kasi meron din kaming business before with my mom. So, parang sabi ko, kailangan ko yatang lumipat into a business side. Yung hindi na ako employed.
Yeah.
So, para mas nagagamit ko yung iba ko pang strengths, di ba? Kasi parang dito, isa lang eh. Kung 5 yung strengths mo at isa pa lang yung nagagamit mo sa kung nasan ka ngayon, eh maghanap ka nung talagang nagagamit mo lahat. Kasi at the end of the day, sayang yung binigay sa'yo ni Lord. Kasi diba, time, talent, treasure. So, we are given by God by the time that we needed. Of course, the talent that we also need. And these two, if we use them both as efficient as we can and effective as we can, yung pangatlo, the treasure, makuha natin yun as much as possible. And this will help us to have our wealth goals. Kung ano-ano yung mga sinulat mong dreams, lahat yun, makukuha mo ng mas mabilis.
Yeah.
So, that's for me.
Actually, we have a separate series or talk on that, about their strengths. Maybe they can watch out for that. And
Nice.
yeah. And yung mga questions ko, yung how they can recognize their dreams, strategize, motivate or energize, catalyze, tsaka ito, actualize their dreams. These are actually parang the 5 keys to making their dreams happen na pinopromote ng Dream Book Project. Yun. So, the last thing, yung nabanggit ko yun, if there's one thing that will actualize their wealth goals, what is it?
Their mindset.
Mindset.
Mindset is the one for me. Kasi, Marian, even if nandun lahat ng recommendations ng isang financial advisor, but if your mindset is not really aligned to what you want to be or what you want to get in the future, wala. Hindi rin siya mangyayari. Kasi kahit nasabihin namin na, ma'am, long-term po yung dream natin. So, kailangan po natin ng insurance for that. Pero yung mindset niya, hindi ko magagalaw yung pera. Alam mo yun, hindi ko mahawakan. Gusto niya short-term. Hindi siya magkatugma. Kasi kung gusto mong hawakan yung pera, pero long-term nga yung dream mo, di dapat short-term dream na lang po yung pag-usapan natin, di ba? So, hindi aligned. Yeah. So, kailangan talaga aligned yung mindset natin dun sa gusto natin patunguhan. If we have a good mindset as to our dreams, for sure, mabilis mo yung marireceive at maririp. Kasi aligned lahat. Yun. Yeah. That's again, for me.
That's it, yung mindset. Again, that's a separate topic that we can talk about for another hour, yung how to change your mindset. Sometimes it's easier said than done to actually change your mindset to growth mindset, no?
True.
And to abundance mindset. Yeah.
Yes.
Pero we're just highlighting the importance of mindset. Okay.
Yes, very important talaga yung mindset. Kasi pag yan ang hindi aligned, Wala. Kahit anong ibigay na tools, strategies, kahit nandyan pa yung pinakamagaling na financial advisor, kung ayaw mong baguhin kung ano yung nakatanim na before,
Yeah.
'di ba? Mahirapan talaga
Yes.
na makuha, ma-reap yung wealth goal na gusto mo for your future.
Yeah.
'Di ba nga, there's a saying na we need to empty our cup so that we could learn new things. And we need to change ourselves for us to become a better person. Because if we don't change kung ano ka now, yun ka pa rin in the future. Kung yung point A mo, hindi talaga uubra dun sa point B na gusto mo, dapat alisin mo yung pagiging point A. Gawin mo yung sarili mo na as your point B. So that you would really reap the change that you want for yourself.
That's true. Meron pa bang slide on actualizing? Or meron?
It's more of visualize your dreams. Maybe this is pertaining to your question about COVID.
I think parang nag-stall yung slide. Ni clear. Ayun, there. Okay.
Ayan.
Okay
so, in this lockdown season or period, or as we face the crisis, is it still possible to achieve our dreams? Of course. Ako 100%, of course. We just need to tweak our how, but never change our goals. So palitan mo lang yung how mo, pero yung goal mo yun pa rin. So yun. For me, for this year, ano ba yung mga pinalitan ko yung how? Number 1, itong pregnancy ko. Yung hospital where I should deliver, pinalitan ko siya kasi ang daming COVID patients na nandun. Oo, and we don't want to take the risk na yes, magandang ospital siya, pero baka naman, 'di ba, sa sobrang gusto mo magandang ospital, magkasakit pa. Isa sa family member, and we don't want that to happen. And for my son, who is currently in grade school, since of course we don't want to stop in his education, we are considering homeschool, or we are looking for other schools who would start a latter date of the year. So yan, may mga school naman na mag-start ng August or September, ganun. So maybe yun yung titingnan namin. So ganun din, whatever your dreams na plinant mo in your heart and in your mind this 2020, yun pa din. Ibahin mo lang yung strategy kung paano mo siya ma-achieve. So, yun. And then, eto. Ayan, wala na.
Okay. Thank you.
Yung ano lang, you've mentioned also yung about the obstacles that they might face during the milestones and action steps. Kasi for sure, meron at meron. I just want to emphasize also na ito yung mga different obstacles na pwede ninyong maharap. Yun nga, kagaya nung sabi ko kanina, number 1, yung feeling na gusto mong mag-splurge. Kasi 95% of the Filipinos talaga are spenders. So, number 1 yan. Ngayong nakakulong, kahit nga nakakulong, nasa cellphone, online shopping ang ginagawa, 'di ba? So, hindi talaga maiiwasan. Pero, yun nga, isipin natin na itong mga obstacles na to, kagaya ng spending too much, utang, bad debts, that would give us financial burden, emotional burden, and would lead us to mentally stressful. Or last, mali yung napaglagyan ng pera, maling institution yung pinagkatiwalaan.
Yeah.
Kaya sayang yung napagplanuhan. Or yun nga, merong mga uncertain, yung na-feel mo lang na gusto mo nang basagin yung piggy bank mo, gusto mo nang mag-splurge.
Yeah.
So, pag na-feel natin to, let's always go back to our why so that we can overcome these obstacles. Kasi if we go back to our why, we can really be on track again na hindi, itong pera na to, sisave ko to para to dun sa retirement ko. Kasi if hindi ko to sinave ngayon, matatagalan pa yung retirement age na gusto ko. Gusto ko mag-retire ng 50 years old. So, if I want to retire at age 50, kailangan yan pa lang mag-ipon na ako so that I can achieve my target retirement fund that I want. So, yun. Always go back to your why. Yun lang yung I want to stress out in addition.
Thank you. Are there any more slides? Wala na.
Wala na.
Salamat, Ruthie, for spending an afternoon with me and sharing all your thoughts and ideas about this. I'm sure maraming matutulungan nito on reaching their
Thank you, Marian, also for inviting me and for the time na I can also share my strengths to other people na ito talaga. Kasi majority, di ba? Lalo na ngayong lockdown period, we are into, madami dyan yung gustong i-hoard yung cash nila. And then, kasi nga hindi natin alam until when this lockdown will be over and this COVID will be over. So, ako, as long as you know your goals, stick to your plan. If it's long-term, invest in VUL with insurance protection. Kasi, the hoarding of money now, sayang. If you want to invest in stocks for your long-term goal, this time is the best time to invest because you can invest at a discount. Lahat ng blue chip company po ngayon at a discount sila ngayon. So, pag tumaas ulit yan, sabay-sabay, pati yung pera mo, umakyat din. And then, of course, syempre, always stick to the financial confidence donut. So, as much as you are only spending 60% and then the 40% for your leisure, 10% for tithing, and 20% for your savings and investment, as long as you are in that track, you are very aligned with your goal. So, don't feel na this COVID or lockdown period is something na you need to overhaul your financial plans. No. Lalo na kung you are working from home, 'di ba? You are still earning.
Yes.
So, wala naman nagbago eh. Kumikita pa rin tayo. So, if you are in a financial difficulty right now, talk to your financial advisor. How can you manage, reassess what should be done para yung gap na nagkaroon now, masustain pa rin para yung future dream mo mangyari pa rin. So, you need to talk to your financial advisor, reassess and do a review with them. For sure, they can help you. So, yeah, if you need an advice, just contact me. Here's my cell phone number. So, you can contact me anytime. Syempre, wag naman nighttime. I also have Facebook page. You can search my name or the Richmaker Facebook page. So, yun. Thank you so much, Marian.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye!